So hey, what's up guys? Today I'm back with a new video, and in this video I'm going to talk about a really useful thing in Python called list comprehension. So I was testing this a while ago, as you guys see, and it helps a lot. Like you can just make for loops inside the list so that you don't need to make multiple lines of code. I'll tell you how it works right now. So if I want to make a list from 1 to 10 and didn't know about list comprehension, I would do something like list 1 equals, either I'll type all the numbers from 1 to 10, or I'll make a for loop for I in range 1 to 10, actually 11, and actually I need to make a list before this. So list 1 equals, and I would just make a for loop instead of just typing everything in, and I would do something like list 1 dot append and then I, and then after that I'll print I just to see, or list 1 just to see what happens. So there I have my list from 1 to 10. But I took 4 lines in my code to just do that one simple task. And if it was like to 100, I will still do this, but I can't do like the physically typing method. So that's one way you cannot do the physically typing method. And if you want like really compact codes, you can't do this method. So the only method you're left with is list comprehension. It lets you make these kind of 4-line codes in just 1 line. So let me just show you how it works. So I'll use the 1 to 10 example, and I want to put I in the list. So I want to append I in the list, so I'll type I. Right now the code doesn't know what I is, so it'll just give an error. Now I'll specify I inside the list. So I technically make a for loop inside the list for I in range. So I'll make a for loop inside the list, and 1, 11, and now the code knows that I need to append I inside the list, and the I comes from this for statement. So it's gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And if I run that, oh, I didn't print it. Print. First of all, I didn't get an error, so that's good. And if I run that, you see I got a list from 1 to 10 without any errors. And it is the exact same thing as doing this. So I'll make another list, and I'll do a for loop for I for I in range. So I'll do 1 to 11, and do not put a colon here because it knows we're appending this. So we just cut 1 line of code. So then I put an indent, and then I type list 2 dot append I. So I will like do 3 to 4 lines of code to just do that simple task. and it will give the exact same result. So if I run this, as you guys see, it has the exactly same result. So I can even show that this is list 1. I'll just copy this. And this is list 2. So just to give you proof, I am printing list 2 and then I'm printing list 1. So it's the exact same 3-line code in 1 line. So you could even do it with 100 numbers. It would be exact same thing. So it's the exact same thing all the way to 100. So this is working, and I could even do if statements. So there's this one code that I made. It was really simple when I was just starting to learn Python. It was what I call the even number generator. So it will give you all the even numbers between the range you type or you give it. So what if I wanted this list 2 to handle only even numbers? I also wanted a list 1. List 1 will be a 1-line code. List 2 will be would be a 1 to 2 lines extra code. So I will type if I mod. So mod means give the remainder. So if I divided by 2's remainder equals 0, it has to be an even number, because an even number divided by 2 would give 0. So now if I try this and try running list 2, it will only have even numbers and be half the length of list 1. So this is where that list ended, and this is where list 2 is going. So list 1 is going. So this works. So it was only putting in all the even numbers between 1 to 100. I'll shorten down the scale, or maybe not. It's fine. But now I want to implement the exact same thing inside my 1-line list. So I would put a colon, because I am putting something inside the for loop. Now I need a colon. So if I'll put the exact same statement, if I mod 2 equals 0, then oh wait, I don't put a colon if I remember. Okay, I said it wrong. I don't know why you don't put a colon. It just gives an error, but it knows there's a invisible colon there, and this is inside the for loop. So if this statement is true, just put this I in there. So if this is true, put this in there and repeat this 100 times. So that's the example you guys saw at the start of the video. There wasn't the code, but it was in my run, whatever you call it, output box, run box. It was like 2468. I was testing that out, and as you guys see, we got the exact same result by doing this 4-line code and this 1-line code. I'll even put like a comment at the top to differentiate. So list 1, and I could put one for list 2, list 2, and there's an error in here. Oh, okay. So I was just saying like there's no space. But so I got list 1 and list 2, and these are two different codes, and they work exactly the same. So list comprehension could make your code like really slim. It could make like 100 lines of code, not probably 100, like 4 to 5 lines of code in just one line. And I could even put another if statement inside an if statement. So if I mod 5 equals 0. So I'm checking if it's divisible by 5 and it's even. So if I run that now, it prints all the numbers that are divisible by 5 and are even. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So it just skipped counting by 10 technically. And if I do the same implementation in list 2, so tab that out and paste, so that would take me 5 lines. So I just used 5 lines into one, and I could like go on with if, then if, my caps on, and I could just put a million ifs in there. It could be 100 lines, but who knows? You might not use that many ifs in just one for statement. Like, who does? But like, this is my 5 lines of code inside just one. And do not put a colon after this. And always specify what you want to put into the list before you're doing anything. So if I don't specify that, it's going to give an error and it's not going to work. It's going to say syntax error, and it does not know what the for loop is there for inside the list and what to do with it. But if you tell it what to put in, there's no error. And if I change this to X, this would give an error because I never existed. So it needs to exist and be inside the list. And guys, this was it for this video. I will see you guys in the next video. And I hope you guys also use this in your code to help you make shorter and slimmer codes. But that's it. So bye guys.